want to welcome everyone here tonight to our first patient information meeting of the Quebec chapter of Bladder Cancer Canada. I'm Pollock, and I want you to know that Bladder Cancer Canada is a national organization helping bladder cancer patients and their support team in the day-to-day issues with this disease. You'll learn a lot tonight about bladder cancer and our mission. So sit back, relax, and let's get it started. As I said, we are very proud to finally be established here in Quebec and to be hosting the first ever information and support meeting here in the province of Quebec. This also reminds me of another first that I heard about just the other day. A story about Seamus and Farley. Seamus from Newfoundland. Anyhow, Seamus meets Farley on the street and says, Farley, he says, I got a problem. He says, what's your problem? He says, well, I never been out of the country. I want to make my first trip out of Canada. He says, oh, that sounds good. He says, where do you want to go? He says, I want to go to Portugal. He says, oh, that sounds wonderful. It should be lovely. He says, yeah. He says, but the trouble is, he says, I don't speak Portuguese. Oh, Farley says, not to worry. He says, you just speak very slowly. He says, they'll understand you. He says, you mean if I speak slowly, that's the Portuguese? He says, yeah, exactly. So off he goes to Portugal, lands, checks into the hotel in Lisbon, goes down to the bar, and goes to the bartender, and he says, please, sir, may I have a glass of wine? And the bartender looks at him and says, who's this weirdo over here? Go on. He says, okay, would you like red or white? Oh, I'll have white, please. Very good. So he gets him his wine, and the bartender looks and says, where are you from? Where are you from? He says, oh, he says, I'm from Newfoundland. Newfoundland. He says, that's strange. He says, I am also from Newfoundland. Oh, my goodness gracious, he says. And so they have a very pleasant conversation, on and on they go. And all of a sudden, Seamus stops and says, hold it, 1 minute now. He says, you're from Newfoundland, and I'm from Newfoundland. He says, why the hell are we talking Portuguese? Before the speakers begin, let me thank our principal sponsor, Bioniche Life Sciences, and the extraordinary help of some of their staff. And I'd like to acknowledge Sue Cohn, Liz McGonigal, Kevin Darbison, and Cassandra McRae. Thank you very much, all of you. Our thanks as well to all of our volunteers who have made this event happen, and for your anticipated help for our September walk for bladder cancer, which you'll hear more about later on in the evening. And we would be remiss if we didn't recognize the courteous assistance we have received from the City of Côte Saint-Luc for this event and for the September walk event. They've been extremely helpful, and we want to thank them very much. And finally, on the publicity point, we want to thank very much the Suburban newspaper for the excellent article, which I think made awareness of bladder cancer and our new organizational efforts here in Quebec well known. So we thank them very much. Our agenda tonight includes bladder cancer medical specialists, clinicians, patients, and executives of Bladder Cancer Canada. All have stories to tell in an effort to help you better understand the disease and to survive it with the highest possible quality of life. We will have time at the end of the presentations for your questions and discussions in English or in French. Please don't hesitate to ask in French if you so please. And what we'll try to do is we'll see what the time factor is. We'll put the questions either right after some of the speakers or we'll leave them for the end. we would prefer to leave it for the end, but if someone who has a question that he would like to ask of any one of the speakers, perhaps we could answer one or two at that point in time, but please leave the majority of the questioning to the end of the presentations, and of course, to the refreshment period afterwards, at which time you'll have plenty of time to meet and talk and discuss with all of the presenters. Our first presenter tonight is well known to many of us, including myself. He's Dr. Wasim Kassouf of the MUHC. After medical school and residency at McGill, he completed the Urological Oncology Fellowship at MD Anderson Cancer Center in Houston, Texas. He then arrived on faculty in 2006 as an assistant professor in urology at the McGill University Health Center in Montreal. Dr. Kassouf's clinical practice focuses on bladder, prostate, and renal cancer. His clinical and translational research focuses on the biology and therapy of bladder cancer. He is currently the chair of the National Cancer Institute of Canada's disease-oriented group in bladder cancer, and he's also the current chair of Bladder Cancer Canada's Medical Advisory Board. He's the head of our advisory board. So I give you Dr. Wasim Kassouf. Thank you.